6 signs she's already in love with you. Love doesn't announce itself. It doesn't send a notification. It doesn't arrive with a speech or a declaration or a perfectly timed confession under the right lighting. It arrives quietly, in the middle of an ordinary Tuesday, in the way someone looks at you when you're not paying attention, in the specific warmth that fills a room the moment you walk into it, in the small things that have been happening right in front of you that you might have been too close to see clearly. And today at HeartSignals, we're going to show you the 6 signs she's not just interested in you anymore. Not just falling. Not just catching feelings. She's already in love with you. Stay till the end, because the last sign is the one that will make everything suddenly make sense. She has stopped pretending she doesn't care. Early on, she was careful. She kept things casual. She matched your energy without exceeding it. She responded but didn't over-respond. She showed interest but not too much interest. But somewhere along the way, that changed. She stopped performing indifference. She stopped measuring how much she gave against how much you gave. She started reaching out first without calculating whether it was her turn. She started showing up in ways that are clearly more than casual, without seeming to care anymore whether that's obvious. When someone is falling, they protect themselves. They ration their feelings. They stay careful. But when someone has already fallen, that carefulness dissolves. Because they've already crossed the line, they've already given their heart over, and at a certain point, protecting it starts to feel less important than just being real. The moment she stopped managing how much she showed you, she had already made a decision somewhere deep inside. A decision she might not have put into words yet, but a decision her behavior made long before her mouth caught up. She feels your pain as her own. Watch what happens when something goes wrong for you. Not the big obvious things, but the small ones. A frustrating day. A quiet disappointment. Something that bothered you that most people wouldn't even notice. Does she feel it? Not sympathetically, from a distance, the way you feel bad for someone you care about generally, but viscerally, like it landed in her chest the same way it landed in yours. When someone is in love, your pain stops being something that happens to you and starts being something that happens to both of you. The emotional boundary between her well-being and yours has dissolved. Your difficult days become her difficult days. Your wins feel like her wins. Your sadness sits in her stomach the same way it sits in yours. Love lives in the small moments. The unremarkable ones. The ones that nobody else sees or celebrates or even notices. And she has been choosing you in those moments. Over and over again. Without being asked. Without an audience. Without any guarantee that you noticed or appreciated it. That quiet, consistent choosing, day after day in the ordinary moments, is not something people do for someone they simply like. That is what loving someone looks like from the inside. She stays, even when staying is hard. This is the final sign. And the most important one. There have been moments, maybe more than a few, where it would have been easier to step back. Where things got complicated or uncertain or just harder than casual feelings would survive. And she stayed. Not because she had to. Not because there was no other option. But because leaving felt wrong in a way she could not rationalize her way out of. Love is not what you feel in the easy moments. Easy moments don't test anything. Love is what remains when things get hard, when the comfortable version of this stops being available and what's left is just the choice to stay or go. She stayed, every single time she chose to stay, through the uncertainty, through the difficult conversations, through the moments that would have been a perfectly reasonable exit. She was telling you something her words might never say. She is already in love with you. And she has been for longer than you probably know. So, how many of these did you recognize? Because if you saw even 3 or 4, I need you to understand something. What you have in front of you is rare. Someone who feels deeply. Someone who has already given you something most people spend their entire lives looking for. Don't miss it. Don't take it for granted. And if you feel it too, maybe it's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment and simply tell her. Like this video, subscribe to HeartSignals. See you in the next one. This is one of the most profound signs that exists, and one of the hardest to fake. You cannot manufacture the specific way someone's face changes when they hear that you're struggling. You cannot fake the kind of worry that shows up in someone's eyes when something has hurt you. If she feels your pain as her own, she has already loved you past the point of return. She has built her life around your presence. Not dramatically, not obviously, but quietly, consistently, over time. She has restructured her world to include you. She knows your schedule. She remembers the things that matter to you and organizes herself around them without being asked. She has made space for you in the parts of her life she doesn't share with most people. And here is the most telling part. She doesn't think of this as sacrifice. She doesn't experience it as giving something up. It just feels natural to her. Normal. Like of course you are factored into her world. Like of course she considers you when she makes decisions. Like of course you are part of the equation now. That naturalness is everything. People in love don't experience including someone as effort. They experience excluding them as effort. And at some point, somewhere along the way, excluding you from her life started feeling wrong to her. That is what love does. It quietly rewires what feels normal. She is completely herself around you. Think about how rare it is to be completely yourself around someone. Most of us are performing slightly edited versions of ourselves most of the time. We choose our words carefully. We manage impressions. We present the parts of ourselves we're most confident in and keep the rest back. But with you, she has stopped performing. She shows you the versions of herself she hides from almost everyone else. The unfiltered opinions. The weird humor. The fears she doesn't share. The dreams she's too embarrassed to say out loud to people who might judge them. She has decided, consciously or not, that you are safe enough for the real her. Not the curated version. Not the highlight reel. The actual complicated, beautiful, messy real her. That kind of vulnerability doesn't happen with people we simply like. It happens with the people we have already handed our hearts to. Because at a certain point, the only thing left to give is the truth of who you actually are. If she is completely herself with you, she has already given you something more precious than most people ever receive from her. She chooses you in the small moments. Love is not a feeling that shows up in grand gestures. Love is a Tuesday afternoon when she checks on you for no reason. It is the way she remembers something you said 3 weeks ago and brings it up because she knew it would make you smile. It is the way she picks up your call even when she is busy. The way she saves things to tell you specifically. The way she thinks of you when you're not there